Hey, hold on. Come on. Growing up in Africa, I had a dream to become one of the best footballers the world has ever produced. I used to look up to people like Walt Pele, and when it comes to Ghana, we have Abedi Pele. I mean, growing up, all my friends used to call me Bebeto, because my English name is Berthold, and because I was the top striker in my village, they called me Bebeto. If you don't believe, if you know anyone from Hinkofi, go ask them, who is this guy called Bebeto? I had a dream to become a footballer. But my parents shattered this dream. You know why? Because they told me that football is for illiterate. People who don't want to go to school are the people who decide to choose football. But let me tell you something. I regret not taking my football career serious, because I could have been earning £100,000 a week. Look at me on YouTube, getting just $1 per 100,000 views. You know what? If you have the passion for anything, you have the right to dream. That is why I am here today. This is Akosombo, and what I'm seeing today is just beyond me. A young guy who decided to partner with other people and come out with this beautiful thing that you see on your screen. But you know, as I always do, I always travel, find them, tell their stories, and he is going to tell the stories for me, because I don't tell people's story for them. But before I finish, let me show you how I used to score goals growing up in Africa. 1, 2, 3. My brother. No. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, brother.
You did this.
I'm part of the pioneers.
Wow. I mean, it's my first time seeing something like this in Ghana. And it's the first episode that I'm doing about football.
Okay.
Because I had a passion for it, but my parents did not allow me to be
why?
the best footballer. You know, I had no right to dream that time. But I think you are making people's dream come true. And you need to tell me who you are, what's your name. I mean, I'm just here for your story.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's your name and where you're from?
Well, firstly, I believe you've always had the right to dream. It's just that the structures might not have been in place. And for us, everyone has the right to dream. So I will tell you a little bit about myself. I'm King Jan. I'm from Nima, the beautiful community of Nima.
Nima?
Yes.
Accra Nima?
Accra Nima, the full spectrum of human experience, Nima.
Wow. I mean, I've heard a lot about Nima, and I can't believe that I'm standing here with someone from Nima. You know, Shatta Wale is from Nima.
I do.
I'm a big fan of Shatta Wale.
Oh, you are?
Because I like people who start from places that nobody expects, and then they come out great. So, I mean, I love the fact that you're from Nima.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad you like Shatta Wale. Nima and other Zongo communities have produced a lot of top talent and people that have contributed a lot to the country and also to the continent. And a big passion of mine is looking for ways to reimagine the image of Nima and Zongo communities.
I mean, people don't know how Nima looks like.
Yeah.
You know, do you know the impressions about Nima out there?
I have an idea of how...
Can you tell us a little bit, because maybe somebody is watching us, he's not from Ghana, definitely from different part of the world. Just give us a little bit about Nima, if you should tell us something about the image that people have for Nima. I don't want to say it because I'm not from Nima.
Okay, well, there is, like I say, the unimaginative eyes. They see a ghetto, they see a slum, they see theft, and they see people that they feel are up to no good. But for us, we see more than that, and we believe, even in connection to Africa, you need to look beyond the surface. We see talented people. We see people who are not just stubborn, but they are stubborn on purpose. They are stubborn enough to, you know, keep working hard to make the world a better place.
From a Zongo, by Zongo, for Zongo, repping the ghetto like Soweto, Zongo, yeah, Zongo. Zongo people really lion. Fear none, who be coward? Get over with it, well why the champion? Random phantom, go the riding on. Yeah, finish school, no dirty work. I don't push a slave queen, dirty work. I'm a rubber self. Money work, Kayayo, Fita, PKSL. You no go fit to bed, my guy, you chop. When babu go work, monkey go chop. Game boy, no laptop, shopper, you bought. One vanilla, Amazon, baby, no call. Hey, Zongo boy, suppose he the carry fee. I got be chicken, don't got Taushi. Zongo people, real survivor. Tro, Okada, taxi driver. Hey, but the serious monsters, you know me so. We are the nicest people, you never know. It's like, looks are deceiving you. Just be proud of yourself, man. You take off a day Zongo, and no be person. A day Zongo, so what on the criminal? A day Zongo, why you they hate me? A day Zongo.
Brother, you were born in Ghana, Nima. And what happened to you? I mean, from Nima straight to this place, or you started from somewhere?
Yeah, well, yes, definitely. I actually started from my coach club, which was called Three Fingers. Don't ask me to explain the name because I have no idea. But yeah, I played with my coach club, and this was back in '99, where Right to Dream Academy started, and it was actually called TVFA, which was connected to the founder's name, and then eventually it became Right to Dream. So I got scouted while playing in the community, and then I joined. We became the first fully residential first group of boys, the first generation. So you had guys like Wahid Ibrahim, Michael Tete, Sam Mensah, and Tele. And all these guys, we worked really hard to build what, you know, it looks like today with the staff as well.
Oh, wow. So both of you, all of you came together to build this one. But I'm talking about you. Like, you grew up in Nima.
Yeah.
From Nima, did you stay in Ghana all your life?
No. So after joining the academy, I believe around 4 years, I got a scholarship to go study in California, Santa Barbara, to go to high school there. And I know you mentioned a little bit about footballers being thought of as people who don't like school.
Exactly.
I believe we are strong proof that it's not true, and that you can combine that to actually make a huge difference, not only in your life, but on the continent. So I went to school in California. I was there for about 2.5 years. And while I was going to school, I was also actively playing at the high level, traveling to England to train with clubs. And so eventually I got offered a professional contract with Fulham. And so I left to play professional football.
From Fulham, where next?
Well, Fulham started my professional career. I went on to play 10 years of professional football. So from Fulham, I was sent on loan by the club to play in Belgium in the top league. And then from Belgium, I played in Norway. And then while in Belgium, I also played for the Black Stars, our national team. And then the last year, or the last club for my career was a club in Sweden called Halmstad. And I was 27 then, and I was in the process of joining a club in Denmark, which is actually the club we own as Right to Dream in Denmark, FC Nordsjælland.
You bought a club in Denmark?
Yes, so the academy, we are really about really doing things differently and changing how the world views Africa, and in terms of African excellence. And so connected to what you are doing, we are the first ever African academy, together with investors, to purchase a club abroad. And with that purchase, it allows us to be competitive in the global football market because of how African players are valued back here. When the transfer is made, for so many reasons, none of the European clubs are looking to pay a lot of money for African players. But with our structure, we are able to make some pretty good transfers.
Wow. King John,
Yes.
at the age of 27, you quit your football career. That is supposed to be your peak. Why do you have to quit?
Well, I didn't necessarily quit. I just made a conscious decision to plan for the future. And it's supposed to be my peak, but I had also enjoyed 10 good years of professional football, starting with the top club and also playing at different levels. So it wasn't an easy decision. I love football and I'll always do, but I also believe that football is not the destination. It's the vehicle to building your bigger dreams, or your bigger purpose in this case. So yeah, I chose to stop and then relocate to Ghana with my family.
Wow. So you came to Ghana to do what?
Ghana is home. As I said earlier, that first I'm an Imanian, a Ghanaian, an African. And so I came back to invest in the talent and in the identity of our people. And I'm doing that through my work here at Right to Dream, and also the brand that we've created called Aminima. Now I say invest, and I know a lot of the times it's looked at as give back. Although we are pushing give back and people looking to contribute, I think it's important to look at it from an investment perspective, because give back has a way of making people feel that it's a charity and it's supposed to be free. And it also kind of stops people from seeing the value that they are adding to the relationship. And so if you're looking at someone from the West or anywhere thinking about Give Back project in Ghana or in Africa, it makes it feel like Africa is a charity case. But we are not. We are ready for investment. We are ready for business.
Wow. And let's go to what you do, Right to Dream.
Yeah.
You established this in the year?
We started in '99 together with the founder, Tom Vernon, who's lived in Ghana for many years, who's Ghanaian in the heart and in the soul and everything. And it was with us, the pioneers, which was a bunch of 10, 11-year-olds who had a dream of playing football. And we worked hard with the first generation, second generation, bringing people through like Majid Waris, David Akam, Mohamed Abu. And then over the years, there's been so many talents coming through. And I can actually honestly say that the current talent that is coming through are a lot more conscious than we were in terms of what it means to be African and what it means to be black.
So it's not just playing of football, because I've seen, I think, a classroom in here.
Yes. The education is a huge, huge part. And as you've seen, we've named the classrooms after our role models, or African giants, if we call them that. Maya Angelou is there. We have Sirleaf Johnson, president. And then we even have an Obama library. So it's looking at it from a Pan-African perspective, but it's also looking at it from blackness, Africans everywhere, from the roots. And so, yeah, it's an environment that celebrates everything.
I just want to know, I've seen people from different countries in here. I was speaking to someone and the person couldn't understand me, which means that you have different countries in here?
Yes, we do. And just to go back to the Pan-Africanism of this place, we have kids from Nigeria, we have had kids from South Africa. Ivory Coast is a big Ivorian culture because they're our neighbors. I think we've had Mali. And then, we strive as much as possible to not only recruit within Ghana or close to us, but to cast our net as big as possible.
But how do you recruit all these people from different African countries?
So we have a recruitment department or a team that is traveling around Ghana each year and looking at, I think we are assessing around 25 to 30,000 kids across the continent. And also we have network relationships with coach clubs and some of the teams around. And so we monitor. And sometimes, for example, if you're 10 and you need one more year to be able to pick up your education and different things, we will monitor you. So it's not like, let's go and just pick out what we see. But it's a long process.
I just want to know, because it's like you go and pick up all these people. These kids have the talent. But do I have to pay to get trained in here?
No, it's full scholarship. And when I say it's full scholarship, which is great, it's also another word around the scholarship that makes people kind of puts us in the box of like, oh, everything is free and all these things. But I think if you really, really looked at it as an investment, the kids get in here with their value, the currency of their talent. So from the age of 10 to 18, you build your currency. And if you don't build your currency, just like any other environment, you don't really access any of the bigger pathways or any of the opportunities. We also do understand that we are not the only way to the dreams, and there's many options. And so by understanding that the kids also bring something to the table and it's a partnership, it helps the kid also see value in themselves.
It's a partnership, so which means so far so good. You've signed, you've transferred most of the kids out of the country or maybe in even different part of the world. What has been your major, transfer this year?
Well, I think, the biggest one, even within Ghana youth, would be the transfer of Mohamed Kudus to Ajax. But at the same time, we also have a transfer of one of our kids called Kelvin Owusu, who's made a move after working hard and being determined in Portugal to go to FC Porto. I think the football side is obviously we are having a big impact, but in terms of the education as well, we've had, I think, over 50 graduates who've gone to top universities in America. We have kids at UNC, and then we have, I think, Stanford, UPenn. So we are hitting both sides. But I think one of the biggest part for us is the whole idea around purpose, the whole idea around connecting your success to something greater than yourself. So we have kids doing incredible projects in the community, from hijab project to girls who are trying to empower other girls to play more.
Wow. This is not part of your football, but I just wanted to ask you, do you think Africa is the future?
Well, Africa has actually always been the present and the future, because if you look at our history in terms of what we have contributed to the success of other countries, Africa has always been looked at as the place. So let's just look at the football industry, one of the places that we're in. The football industry is a $28 billion market, and Europe has a monopoly in the market. Europe, out of that 28, makes or accounts for about 22 billion of that. And so the 6 billion that is left is for the rest of the world. So we ask ourselves, where does Africa fit in? But bigger question is, how does Ghana fit into this? And then even the transfer market, which in 2019 the report says that it was 7.35 billion. And again, Europe has 5.6 billion of that market. And so we go about all these things and we say, what are the opportunities within Africa? There's huge opportunity for us to create an ecosystem, a domestic system that is able to make transaction, to be able to put a value on our talent in order for us to even be able to compete in Europe. Just like Brazil has done, Brazil is competing really well in the market.
True. And you know what, I just wanted to ask you, because you lived abroad and then you returned back to invest. You are not just investing, you're adding value to whatever that is happening on the continent. So if you should advise your fellow brothers and sisters that are living in the diaspora, hey, do you think it's worth it to come back home?
Well, with me, with everything, I like to look at the roots before we talk about the flower. So one of the things, obviously, we're living in a time where Corona is a big thing, and also the racial uprising with George Floyd and things. Systematic racism and institutional oppression and things, it's everywhere, right? So we are not trying to say that Ghana is perfect. Obviously, if you look at all the protests around the world, not as many African countries did a lot of protests. And even the one that happened in Ghana, the leader ended up in jail. And so with that being said, there is an opportunity for blacks everywhere to come and be part of building what is already existing, because people are doing things. There are heroes in the community and there are heroes that have been doing things here. And so the idea is that in order for the flower to do well, you need to take care of the roots. And since Africa is the home of humanity, we need to take care of our roots. So come home.
Wow. And you've been here. I know it's not easy. Whatever you're saying, it's like flowers. But let's go to the roots. Where you are from.
Yeah.
Do you think all is all right in here? If you should talk to your fellow brothers and sisters who live on the continent, if you have an advice for them, what will it be? Yeah.
Well, as I said, it's not perfect. And even if you go to New York or whatever, you see Ebola. But it's the story we choose to tell and what we put our energy on. So, for example, like what is going on with systematic oppression, corruption, and all these things, the people in the country, we have to ask ourselves, how does all these things show up in our day-to-day life in terms of inequality? And once we ask ourselves, then we can more be able to empathize with what's going on with blacks everywhere. And I think Nkrumah said it that our freedom is meaningless unless it's connected to the liberation of black people everywhere. Malcolm X also supports that. So I would say the people here, we need to be able to not only think that we want to escape the continent, but how does all the things that is not right in the world show up in our own way? And how can we galvanize ourselves, come together, and make a bigger change?
I just want to say thank you so much. You did an awesome job in here. And I just want to say, on behalf of all my subscribers, I want to say congratulations on your achievement. And we'd love to have you back on the channel. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you so much, Maya.